open an Excel spreadsheet, so we can discuss again. Ilan tayo? 22. So, onti lang. Ang dami nang wala, no? Kawawa na. 22 minus 3 kasi tatlo yung dalawa pa lang muna wala. Hindi pa ako nagpe-present. So, 20 lang kayo. So, 10 yung wala. Let me just check kung sino-sino sa inyo. Sino-sino kayo dito. Right. Okay. Alright. Okay, so sad. Ang konti lang yun. Pero okay lang. Let me just present a window. Book 1. Okay, can you see now my screen, class? Not yet.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Sige. Thank you. Okay. So sa audit of cash, kanina yung nag-audit tayo ng revenue receipt cycle. Revenue receipt cycle. Ang tinest natin doon ay test of controls, di ba? Kasi we are testing internal control. Kaya test of control yun ginawa natin sa revenue receipt cycle. Ano yung mga initial na audit natin sa revenue receipt cycle? Na-audit natin yung cash, na-audit natin yung receivables, na-audit natin yung nakikita niyo po ba? Malaki po ba yung nakikita niyo or lalakihan ko na lang muna? Yan. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nakikita niyo po. Cellphone po ba yung gamit niyo or laptop?
Cellphone, sir.
Okay. So, yan. Okay. So, nilakihan ko na siya. So, cash. Na-audit natin yung cash kanina initially. Na-audit natin yung receivables. Na-audit natin yung sales. Na-audit natin yung inventory. Na-audit natin yung cost of sales. Now, una muna natin i-audit yung cash, di ba? So, yung cash, dahil na kapag initial test na tayo for test of control, ngayon, ang gagawin natin sa cash ay substantive audit na. Substantive testing or substantive audit. So, we are conducting substantive testing for cash. Ngayon, pag nag-conduct tayo ng substantive testing for cash, anong gagawin natin? Ano bang una-una natin gagawin kapag mag-audit? Class, can you still hear me?
Yung
Yes,
cash
sir.
balance, sir. Yung cash balance. Okay, reconcile sa bank statement.
Okay, so alright. Sige. Kapag nag-audit tayo ng line item sa financial statements, ang una nating titignan yung FS assertions. Naalala pa po ba yung FS assertions?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ano yung FS assertions na alam natin? Ano yung mga FS assertions na alam natin?
Existence.
Kung natatandaan pa po ba?
Existence or occurrence.
Sorry? Ano po yun?
Existence or occurrence. Rights and obligations.
Alright. Sige.
Completeness, valuation and allocation, presentation and disclosure.
Yeah, that's correct. Pero dapat gumawa kayo ng mnemonics. So, ang FS assertion, ang lagi niyong tatandaan, perceive. Ano po ba? FS assertions, ang laging tatandaan is perceive. So, what is perceive? Presentation and disclosure, existence or occurrence, rights and obligation, completeness, valuation and allocation. Tama po ba? So presentation. Dito muna tayo sa presentation and disclosure. So kapag nag-audit tayo ng cash, ang i-check natin is presentation and disclosure. Anong meron sa presentation and disclosure? Auditing cash. Pag nag-audit tayo ng cash, kailangan in accordance siya with
GAAP.
in accordance with GAAP. Ano yung GAAP na sinusunod natin? Naalala po ba yung sinabi ko noong nakaraan? We have 3 reporting framework. Una, the full PFRS. Ikalawa, PFRS for SMEs. Ikatlo, PFRS for small entities. Okay. So, normally, under full PFRS, yung mga related na accounting standards under audit of cash, dito muna tayo sa full PFRS. Under siya ng PAS 1. Presentation of financial statements. Ano pa? Ano pa yung dapat in accordance yung cash? So, PAS 1, identify na natin. Ano pa? PAS 32. Financial instruments presentation. Ano pa? PFRS 9. Financial instruments. Ano pa po? PAS 7.
Cash flow, sir.
Cash flow statement. Ano pa? Ano pa po yung alam natin? So dapat in accordance na nakita na po ba natin yung yung handouts natin sa sa handout material sa cash? Hindi pa po? So, ano po yung mga accounting standards ba? If you can remember. You will remember. So, these are the normal accounting standards na meron tayo sa sa under full PFRS. Kasi sabi nga daw nung presentation and disclosure assertion sa audit, kailangan daw in accordance with diba? So ano yung mga nakalagay doon? We have PAS 32, financial instrument presentation, we have PFRS 9, financial instruments, we have PAS 7, statement of cash flow. We also have PFRS 7, diba? Financial instruments disclosure. Diba? So these are the accounting standards or GAAP na sinasabi natin. Dapat in accordance dito yung reporting natin sa cash. Nagigets
Okay,
po
sir.
ba? Nakukuha po ba? Alright. So,
Yes.
ngayon, alam na natin. Alam na natin na ito yun. Diba? Ito yung nasa audit, diba? Lagay natin dito, audit. Para mas malinaw, diba? Oh. Audit of cash. Oh, dito yung audit of cash. And then, palitan natin ang kulay. Black. Then, make it white. Audit of cash. And then, ikalawa, i-compare natin siya sa accounting for cash. Accounting for cash. We have audit of cash. We have accounting for cash. Alam natin kung ano yung cash. Alam natin kung paano i-audit din yung cash. Kasi it must be in accordance with the generally accepted accounting principle. At ito yung mga GAAP related sa cash. Paano natin nire-record ang cash? How do we record ang cash?
Debit cash.
How do we record cash?
Debit cash.
Yes, that's true. Nire-record natin yung cash as a
Debit
debit
cash.
because it's an asset. How do we initially recorded cash? Initial recognition. Paano nire-record ang cash? Initial recognition.
Face value.
Record natin ang cash based saan? Sa
Face value.
Face value, sir.
face value. Ang sabi ng, tinatapat ko siya sa sa accounting standard na nandun sa presentation and disclosure. Ang sabi ng PAS 32, financial instruments like cash must be recorded initially at fair value. So at fair value,
Fair
which
value.
is equal, yes, tama po, which is
Face
equal
amount,
to its face value. Tama po ba? Nag-gets
Yes.
po ba? Ang face value daw ng cash, that is its fair value. Nag-agree po ba si PAS 32 doon? Sabi ni PAS 32, financial instruments must be recorded initially at its fair value. Anong sabi ni Cash? Yes, face value is my fair value. Nakukuha po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nagigets po ba? Alright.
Yes, sir.
And then, subsequent measurement. Ano naman nire-record si Cash sa subsequent measurement? Anong sabi ulit ni PAS 32? Financial instruments will be recorded subsequently at its fair value. Kasi cash, fair value is equal to its face
Face value.
value. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes
Right.
po.
Kailangan alam natin ito, class, kasi kapag nag-audit na tayo ng cash, at least alam na natin yung kung paano i-record. Diba? So, are there any other question? Sa pag-record ng cash. So initially, at its fair value, which is equal to its face value, and then subsequently measured at its fair value again, which is equal to its face value. That is part of the presentation and disclosure. Nakuha po ba? How about kapag merong compensating balances? Compensating balances. Paano nire-record ang compensating balances? What's the rule sa pag-record ng compensating balances? Nagbabasa po ba ang mga estudyante ko? Alala po ba?
Not legally restricted, but part of cash.
If not legally restricted,
Part of cash.
then it is part of cash. Diba? If legally restricted, ano naman siya? Not part of cash.
Cash.
So that is for compensating balances. Bakit natin siya diniscuss? Because that is part of the presentation and disclosure. Any question regarding presentation and disclosure? Any question?
Yes, sir.
None. Okay, so next, sa perceived existence or occurrence. So, anong meron sa existence or occurrence? Ano meron sa existence or occurrence? Anong tinetest natin? Bakit natin tinetest yung assertion for existence or occurrence? To check kung nag-i-exist ba talaga yung
Transaction.
diba? To check if cash really exists. Diba? So how do we test existence or occurrence for cash?
Vouching, sir. Pero,
Alright, sige. Okay, yep. So how do we test existence or occurrence for cash? Una,
Cash
Una,
balance. Reconcile.
hindi po kayo nag-ano, no? Hindi kayo nagbasa, no? So, una, i-check natin kung anong klase ba ng cash. Nakuha po ba? May cash kasi tayo na nasa loob ng company, may cash tayo na nasa labas ng company. Pag nasa labas, ibig sabihin nasa bank, di ba? So, inside the company, and then outside the company. So, how to test the existence of cash inside the company or within the company is through count, diba? Through count, through cash count.
yes, sir.
So, nagka-cash count tayo kapag yung cash nasa loob ng company. Ano-ano yung mga kina-cash count natin? Ano yung mga kina-cash count po natin? Example,
Yes.
petty cash fund.
Petty cash.
Petty cash fund. Ano pa? Change fund. Ano pa? Interest fund. Ano pa? Lahat ng klase ng funds na nasa loob ng company. Kung may fund ka pero nakadeposit sa bank, you cannot count it kasi nasa bank, di ba? Hindi naman pa pwedeng pumunta ka sa loob ng bank tapos tatanungin nyo, magsasabi kayo, auditor po ako ni company ganito, magka-cash count ako. Hindi ka nila papayagan. Malay ba nila kung totoo ka bang auditor o hindi? So, hindi nila papayagan ikaw na mag-cash count. Saka, yung cash doon, virtual lang yung cash na yun. Nasa head office yung cash talaga. Diba? And then, a virtual office nung bank, diba? Head office ng bank. Virtual value lang yun nandun sa branch ng bank. So, hindi ka talaga makapag-cash count. So, yung pwede mo lang i-cash count yung cash na nasa loob ng company. Like, for example, the petty cash fund. So, paano ka magkakandak ng cash count? Paano ka magkakandak ng cash count?
Physically yata, sir.
I-reconcile po sa GL, sir.
Paano magkakandak ng cash count, class? Sino ang nagka-cash count? Ikaw ba bilang auditor o yung may hawak ng funds? Like for example, sa petty cash, di ba si petty cash custodian, sino yung magka-cash count sa inyo? Ikaw o si petty cash custodian?
Si petty cash custodian.
Yung custodian po,
Observe
sir.
pa lang po.
Yes, sir.
Mag-observe lang, sir.
The one who conducts cash count is the petty cash custodian. Petty cash fund, custodian. Pero anong role ni auditor? Observe ka lang.
sir.
Nakukuha po ba?
Yes,
So
sir.
pag nagkakandak ng cash count, particularly petty cash fund, at maraming petty cash fund. Halimbawa, sa office ganito may isang petty cash fund. Sa ikalawang department, may petty cash fund din. Sa isa pang department, may petty cash fund din sila. Paano ka nagkakandak ng petty cash count doon? Paano ka magkakandak ng petty cash count? Letter A, one by one. Letter B, simultaneously. Letter C, submission through email.
Yes, sir.
Letter D, Facebook Live. So, paano nagkakandak ng petty cash count kapag maraming petty cash fund?
Yes, sir.
One by one mo ba pinapa-count or simultaneous ba dapat?
Di po yan.
Nagigets ako. Nakukuha po ba yung sinabi ko? Kapag nagka-cash count kayo, ang nagka-cash count si petty cash custodian. Pero in the case na maraming petty cash fund, maraming fund na nakaset up, merong petty cash fund na nakay accounting, merong petty cash fund si HR, merong petty cash fund din si sales, merong petty cash fund din si operations. So lahat sila may kanya-kanyang petty cash fund. Ngayon, paano nyo gagawin yung cash count? Gagawin nyo yon simultaneously.
Simultaneous.
By department.
Bakit nyo siya kinakandak simultaneously? May reason yan behind that. Bakit kinakandak simultaneously? So we are conducting cash count simultaneously para maiwasan yung transfer ng fund. Halimbawa, nag-cash count ka na sa unang petty cash fund. Kulang pala yung petty cash fund, di ba? So, ang gagawin ng isang petty cash custodian, hihiram muna siya ng cash doon sa isang petty cash custodian. Sabi niya, pera muna ako ng petty cash mo dyan. Dadagdagan ko lang yung akin, parang na-short ata ako, baka makita ni auditor. Pa po ba? Ngayon, kapag natapos ka na, pupunta ka doon sa isa. Kung paisa-isa ka mag-cash count, bago ka makapunta doon, ibibigay na ni petty cash custodian yung pera na hiniram niya, ibabalik niya ulit doon para hindi ma-short naman yung isa. So kung ganun yung ginagawa mo, paisa-isa, hindi mo mahuhuli kung may short ba o wala. Kaya kailangan simultaneous yung cash count. Kapag nag-cash count ka sa isang petty cash fund, mag-cash count na rin sa ibang petty cash funds para maiwasan yung transfer ng funds. Nagigets po ba? Nakukuha po ba ako?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, yun yung reason bakit kailangan ng simultaneous cash count kapag maraming petty cash fund. Ngayon, kapag yung pera naman, yung cash, outside the company, anong ginagawa lang? Magka-cash count? O hindi?
Di po.
Hindi po.
Anong ginagawa mo lang? Anong audit process yung ginagawa mo?
Kinokontak
Audit
yung
procedure. Sige po, kinokontak yung bank. Anong tawag doon? May tawag po
Okay.
doon.
Bank confirmation po.
Okay, ba?
Bank confirmation. That is correct. Confirm with banks. Diba?
Bank
tawag doon?
balance.
Bank confirmation. Gigets po ba? So, nagko-confirm ka kapag outside the company. So, kapag outside the company, confirm. Iko-confirm mo. Kapag within the company, you conduct cash count. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba? Ngayon,
Yes, sir.
bank confirmation, anong ginagamit natin? Standard bank confirmation. So sa standard bank confirmation, may mga makikita na tayo dito. Ano-ano yung mga nakikita sa bank confirmation? Ano-ano yung mga nakikita sa standard bank confirmation?
Current accounts po.
Current account. So, sige. Okay. So, let me just
Balance.
check my browser. Papakita ko lang sa inyo yung itsura ng standard bank confirmation. Alright. Let me just check first. Sorry. Medyo mabagal. Okay. Standard bank confirmation. Standard. Wait. Standard bank confirmation form. Standard bank confirmation form. Hindi tayo ng standard bank confirmation. Ayan. Okay, ayan, okay. So, I will share again my screen. Stop presenting muna. Then we'll just share my entire screen para makita nyo yung screen. Okay. Can you see now my screen, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is an example of a standard bank confirmation. So nakita ko lang siya sa internet. So sa standard bank confirmation, i-check natin kung ano yung meron sa kanya. Ano yung nakikita natin? Ano meron?
Account numbers.
Account numbers. Ayan, meron 'di ba? Deposits and overdrafts. General account, payroll account. So we have the type of accounts. Isusulat ko dito ha. So under the standard bank confirmation, makikita daw doon yung type of accounts. Ano pa yung nakikita natin? Account numbers. Ano pa?
Account name.
Kung merong interest, di ba? Kung merong interest, kung may interest ba or wala. So, dapat mapapansin din natin yung interest rates. Kasi tinatanong din sa bank confirmation kung may interest rates. And then, ano pa? Ano pa po?
Issue date.
Yung amount, di ba? Amount of currency. So, sa standard bank confirmation, ano yung una natin nakita? Type of accounts. Ikalawa, account numbers. Ikatlo, interest rates. Issue date if applicable, maturity date if applicable, amount of currency. Nakukuha po ba? Nakikita po ba? Bakit merong issue date saka maturity date? Applicable ito kapag time deposit. Kasi yung time deposit may issue date siya, meron din siyang maturity date kung kailan mo kukunin yung pera. So that is applicable for time deposit. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets ba, class?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright. So nakita po ha. Ikalawa. I-check pa natin itong bank confirmation. Ano pa yung nakita nyo? Paki-check dito.
Confirmation date, sir. Kung kailan po na-confirm.
Liability.
Yes. Yes, tama yung confirmation date. Pero yung hinahanap natin, yung liabilities. So, lumalabas kapag standard bank confirmation pala tayo, nakikita din natin yung loan balances. Kung merong loan balance or liability, si client kay bank. Nakukuha po ba?
sir.
Ano pa? So, merong loan balances, contingent liabilities. So, meron din, di ba? Loan balances and contingent liabilities. Ano pa? Credit facility agreement. So, meron din daw, kung makikita natin sa standard bank confirmation, kung meron din daw credit facility agreement and other arrangements. So, yun yung meron sa standard bank confirmation. Ano pa yung makikita natin? Hanap pa tayo. Exemptions and comments, bank confirmation. Okay. Meron pa po ba? Can you still hear me, class?
Yes, sir.
So ano pa po yung nakikita natin? Minsan sa ibang bank confirmation, nakikita din natin yung compensating balances. So doon natin malalaman kung legally restricted ba yung compensating balance o hindi legally restricted. Normally, nag-appear yung compensating balances kapag merong loan balance ang isang company. Nakukuha po ba? So kapag may loan balance ang isang company, malamang, meron ding compensating balance na dinisclose doon. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now, the question is, sino ang nagpapadala ng bank confirmation? Letter A, si auditor. Letter
Si
B,
auditor po.
si so,
Auditor po.
ulitin ko po ha. Sino nagpapadala ng bank confirmation? Letter A, si auditor ba? Letter B, si client ba? Or
Si
letter
auditor po.
C, pwede sila
Auditor,
pareho?
sir.
Si auditor po, sir.
Auditor, sir.
A po.
Sino yung
A.
nagpapadala?
Si auditor po.
Ang nagpapadala ay si auditor. So, si auditor will be the one to send the bank confirmation. The standard bank confirmation. Ngayon, kapag na-receive na ni bank, kanina naman ipapadala ni bank? Letter A, kay auditor. Letter B, kay client. Or letter C, sila pareho.
Kay auditor pa din po.
We'll send it back to auditor.
Auditor.
Correct. Kung magpapadala si auditor, ibabalik, isi-send back ni bank, papunta kay auditor. Bakit kailangan si auditor? Kasi kapag dumaan kay client, baka pwedeng baguhin ni client yung amount na nakalagay doon. Nakuha po ba? So yun yung reason behind. Bakit si auditor ang magpapadala at si auditor ulit ang tatanggap. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Okay. And then, ano pa tayo? Last one, sa existence or occurrence. So sa existence or occurrence, we perform cut-off testing. So we perform cut-off testing. Bakit tayo nagpe-perform ng cut-off testing? Ano ba yung cut-off testing?
Kung na-record po sa tamang period yung mga transactions.
That's correct. If recorded in the proper period. If cash is really recorded in the proper period, then we have to conduct cut-off testing. So how do we conduct cut-off testing? Sa cash, we trace all transfers occurring between banks. So we are tracing all transfers occurring between banks. Kailan tayo nagtitrace ng transfers occurring between banks? Letter A, at the beginning of the year. Letter B, at the middle of the year. Or letter C, at year end.
Year end.
Letter C po.
Year end. At year end. So tama, that's correct. We trace all transfers occurring between banks at year-end. Bakit? Kasi syempre, doon natin makikita yung mga bank transfers na baka hindi pala pumasok, hindi na i-record, pero na-transfer na. Or na-transfer na siya, hindi pa nag-appear kay bank, tapos hindi rin na-record ni client. So, that is the purpose of cut-off testing. So, tapos na tayo sa presentation and disclosure. Tapos na tayo sa existence or occurrence. We go now with the rights and obligations. Anong meron sa rights and obligations?
Yung asset and liabilities po ng isang entity.
So rights, kung merong right si company or si entity doon sa cash. Obligation, kung merong existing obligation related doon sa audit of cash. So how do we check if there are existing obligations related doon sa cash, sa pag-audit ng cash? We need to confirm, diba? We need to confirm with banks and other financial institutions for deposits and other information about existing indebtedness. So we are confirming it with the banks. For the existing deposits and other information about existing indebtedness. Kasi kapag nag-confirm tayo kay bank, ano yung nakikita natin? Balikan ulit natin yung standard bank confirmation. Ano yung nakikita natin kay standard bank confirmation? Una, type of accounts. Ikalawa, account numbers. Ikatlo, interest rates. Ikaapat, amount of currency. Ikalima, loan balances. Diba? So kapag nag-confirm tayo kay bank, nag-send tayo ng bank confirmation, possible na mag-disclose din si bank nung existing loan balance ni entity, i-inform tayo ni bank. Diba? So at least doon pa lang, sa bank confirmation pa lang, na-audit na rin natin yung liabilities ni company. May existing bank loan pala to si company, hindi niya dinisclose. Nakuha po ba? So doon, rights and obligations. So confirm with banks and other financial institutions for deposits and other information about existing indebtedness. Ano pa yung audit procedure na ginagawa natin? To test the assertion about rights and obligation, we investigate checks. So how do we investigate checks?
Based on bank reconciliation.
Why do we investigate checks? Yes, we investigate checks through bank reconciliation. But why do we need to investigate checks?
Because di ba yung check ay yung
If it's restricted or not.
We investigate checks for unusual large payment transactions. Siyempre kapag may nakita kayong payment transaction through check, nakita nyo 100 million, hindi ba kayo magtataka bilang auditor?
Yes, sir.
So magtataka kayo, bakit ang laki naman ng nilabas neto na na pera. So, magiging curious tayo. Para saan itong 100 million na nilabas? Siyempre, at least doon pa lang malalaman na natin kung ano yung reason. Mamaya, inilabas pala yun, walang authorization, walang proper authorization, kinuha na lang pala. At least mai-inform nyo yung company na ay may kinuha, may nawala sa inyong cash kasi merong lumabas na unusual large payment transaction.
Ay, mga bank transfers, parang ganun siya.
Yes, pwede rin sa bank transfers. Yes. Ano pa? Kasi we are checking unusual large payment transaction kung properly authorized ba, di ba? If properly authorized yung transaction. Ano pa? Ano pang bakit natin check yung unusual large payment transactions? To check if it is adequately disclosed in the FS. Mamaya, properly authorized nga talaga yung unusual large payment transaction. Pero yung unusual large payment transaction pala na yon ay payment ng dividends, cash dividends sa mga stockholders. Kaya ganun kalaki yung amount, 100 million pesos. So dahil nalaman natin, dahil investigate natin yung large payment transaction na yon, nalaman na natin, ay ano pala to, cash dividend payment pala to sa mga stockholder. Ngayon, syempre kayo bilang auditor, napaisip rin kayo. Iisipin nyo, dinisclose ba to sa sa financial statements? Diba? Kailangan i-disclose ito sa financial statements na nagkaroon ng payment ng cash dividend sa mga stockholder. Para aware yung mga stockholder, yung mga users ng financial information, nag-declare pala ng cash dividend. Bakit hindi ako nakatanggap? Diba? So, ganun lang yun. And then, to check the rights and obligations. Bilang auditor, you have to read minutes of meetings. So, kailangan nyo basahin yung minutes of meetings. Bakit kaya natin kailangan basahin yung minutes of meetings? So, we have to read minutes of meetings for any restrictions made on cash. Minsan kasi, ang ginagawa sa board meeting, sasabihin ng board, okay, i-restrict muna natin yung ganitong cash kasi magkakaroon tayo ng plant expansion. So we allocate the portion of this cash into plant expansion fund. Hindi naman yun sasabihin sa inyo ng accountant. Hindi naman yun sasabihin sa inyo ng finance manager o kaya ng controller. Unless na lang sasabihin nila. So saan nyo malalaman? Malalaman nyo sa minutes of meetings. So kapag nag-restrict kasi ng cash, di ba? Then it is not available for daily operation. And hindi natin siya makaklassify dapat as part ng cash. Ika-classify natin siya as other non-current financial asset. So yun po yung purpose nung bakit tayo nagbabasa ng minutes of meetings. So that is all under rights and obligation. Now we go with number 4. So tapos na tayo sa per, di ba? Letter C na tayo. Completeness. So why do we need to test the completeness assertion? Why do we need to test the completeness assertion? Para saan po ba ang completeness assertion? To check if
Recorded po yung mga transaction.
completely recorded, di ba? To check if it is completely recorded. So, paano natin ano yung mga audit procedures na gagawin natin for the completeness? Una, we test cut-off. So magka-cut-off testing tayo. How do we cut-off test? How we do cut-off testing? Magka-cut-off testing tayo to verify cash receipts and deposits. Diba? So we conduct cut-off testing to verify cash receipts and deposits. Di ba naalala nyo kanina doon sa revenue receipt cycle? Ano bang ginawa natin sa revenue receipt cycle? Ay, wala na. Sa revenue receipt transaction cycle, di ba nag-conduct tayo ng test of control sa collections and deposits. So we conduct test of controls, test of internal control doon sa collection report. Ititrace natin siya sa bank statement. Ititrace din natin siya doon sa accounts, receivable, subsidiary, ledger. Ngayon, tinest natin yung test of control. Does it mean to say na hindi na tayo magsa-substantive testing? Ano ba yung rule sa audit? Kapag maganda ang internal control, anong rule sa audit? Kapag maganda daw ang internal control, magpa-perform ka ba ng test of control? Yes or
Hindi
no?
na po.
Hindi na.
No. Hindi na po.
Ulit, isipin na maigi. Dito muna tayo ha. Sorry, gawa tayo ng isa. Okay. Question number 1. Ang sabi daw, if internal control is good, anong gagawin natin? Magpe-perform ba tayo ng test of control? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No.
Isipin na maigi. If internal control daw is good, do we need to perform test of control? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Isipin na maigi na kung makakabagsak. Yes or no?
Yes.
Sige, ulitin natin ha. If internal control is good. So, ang sabi sa atin, maganda daw yung internal control. Effective yung internal control. Tayo bilang auditor, maniniwala ba tayo agad?
No.
Hindi po, sir.
No po.
No.
Purple pa rin po.
So, magda-doubt tayo. Magda-doubt tayo doon. So,
Yes, sir.
kapag sinabi sa atin, maganda yung internal control, doubt pa rin tayo. May doubt tayo. Okay, maganda yung internal control. Ite-test namin kung maganda ba talaga yung internal control. So, magpa-perform ba tayo ng test of control? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Yes po, sir.
Yes. So, we need to perform test of control. Kasi, sinasabi nila maganda yung internal control. So, iti-test natin talaga siya kung maganda ba talaga yung internal control. So, kailangan natin mag-perform ng test of control. Ikalawa, if internal control is bad, we need to perform test of control. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
If
No,
internal
sir.
control is bad, yes or no?
No, sir.
A big no. Bakit a big no?
Substantive na po agad.
Substantive test po.
So, tama yon, pero hindi yon yung tamang sagot. Kailangan alam natin bakit tayo nagpe-perform ng test of control. Tama yung sinabi nyo na magpe-perform tayo ng substantive test na agad. Pero bakit daw hindi magpe-perform ng test of control?
Kasi sinabi na pong bad siya. Hindi na maganda yung internal
Correct.
control.
So, iisipin nito ha. Ayan, tama yon. If internal control is good, dahil auditor tayo, hindi tayo naniniwala, ite-test natin kung okay ba talaga si internal control. So, we perform test of control. So, yes. But if internal control is bad, bakit mo pa itetest yung internal control kung good siya, sinabi na nga bad siya. So magsasayang lang tayo ng oras. Nakukuha po ba? Kaya hindi na tayo magpe-perform ng test of control kapag hindi maganda si internal control. Nakukuha po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So now, kung maganda si internal control, we perform test of control. Yes. Do we need to conduct substantive testing?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, pero less. Ay,
Yes. So we conduct substantive testing. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. Pero less na lang
That's
yung
true.
ano.
Pero,
na
ano
lang.
meron?
Less na lang, sir.
Isipin natin, net, di ba? Alala niyo ba tong net? Nature, extent, and then timing. So kapag nature of the transaction, nalala pa po ba yung net? Nature, extent, timing.
SF.
Yes.
Po
Sa
yata.
nature, sa audit theory to. Inuulit ko sa inyo kasi part pa rin ng ng audit problem ang audit theory. Kaya nga tayo nagta-transaction cycle kasi audit theory talaga 'yon. Hindi naman 'yun na-discuss sa audit theory, 'di ba? Sa audit problem yung dinidiscuss. So partly audit theory tayo, partly audit problem. So sabi daw, if internal control is good, we need to perform test of control. Kasi nga daw, kailangan natin i-check kung tama ba talaga, kung good ba talaga yung controls. But we need to conduct substantive testing. Ang sagot natin, yes. Kasi kahit i-perform natin yung test of control, kailangan pa rin natin ng substantive audit procedures. Kaya tayo nagsasubstantive testing. But dahil nag-substantive testing tayo, pero okay naman daw yung internal control, i-check natin yung nature, extent, and timing.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yung type ng ano,
Yes.
type
Kapag
ng audit
sa
procedure.
nature, kapag sa nature ng transaction, more or less, kapag nature, large or few,
Less to more.
Konti na lang, less. Less na
Less
lang.
to more effective.
More effective siya.
nature, more or less.
More po.
Sa nature,
More effective.
more. Bakit
More
more? Yan yung, bakit more?
Kasi more na po yung assurance kasi good po yung internal control.
Dahil good yung internal control, more na po yung assurance. So, tama yon. So, kapag more yung assurance, more effective na siya. Pero sa nature, ano ba yung hinahanap natin? More or less samples.
Less sample na lang po.
Less
Less
sample na lang tayo. Diba? So, less samples. Ano pa? Kailan natin ikakanda? Kapag good ang internal control, interim or year-end?
Year-end.
And
Kapag maganda ang internal control, interim or year-end?
Here,
Interim.
Ang sagot, interim. I-perform it at interim kasi nagre-rely ka sa internal control.
Sa internal.
At yes, kaya siya interim kasi nagkakanda ka ng audit at interim dates, tapos sa year-end, review ka na lang. Nakuha po ba? If internal control is bad, do you perform test of control? Hindi na, kasi wala nang saysay para i-perform yung kagandahan ng test of ng internal control kung pangit naman na talaga siya. But do we perform substantive testing? Sagot, yes. For the nature, extent, and timing, more samples. And then you perform it at year-end. Any question? Any question regarding here? Class?
Yung timing po, sir.
None. Okay. So, balik ulit tayo sa test cutoff to verify cash receipts and deposits. So, tama yun. We need to verify cash receipts and deposits kasi we need to conduct substantive testing, di ba? Nag-test of control na tayo kanina sa revenue receipts cycle, pero kailangan pa rin natin mag-conduct ng substantive testing kapag in-audit na natin yung cash. So, ikalawa, why do we need to perform cutoff testing? To check or to verify cash disbursements. Kasi yung kanina may cash receipts and cash deposits. Ngayon naman, to verify cash disbursements. And then last one, to trace checks. So, bakit tayo nagpe-perform ng cut-off testing to trace checks? To check kung merong outstanding check sa mga deposits in transit.
Yes, sir.
Kukuha po ba? Nagigets ba? So these three items under cut-off testing, these are reconciling items na makikita natin sa bank reconciliation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So sa completeness assertion ulit, one audit procedure na pwede natin gawin is by examining the bank reconciliation. The bank reconciliation. Or proof of cash, diba? So, bank reconciliation is a two-column reconciliation, diba? While proof of cash is a four-column bank reconciliation. So, proof of cash is also a bank reconciliation. So, ano pa yung ginagawa natin kapag nagka-cut-off test? Examine intercompany transfers and bank transfers. So we examine intercompany transfers and bank transfers. Kasi minsan, 'di ba, sa tulad nung pinag-aralan natin kanina sa revenue receipt cycle, we check for unusual large transactions sa sales, pati sa receipts, kasi baka merong theft o kaya merong intercompany transactions. So, kaya natin pinag-aaralan yung cut-off test for test of completeness assertion is also to check if there are any intercompany transfers or bank transfers at year-end. And then last one, valuation and allocation. Valuation and allocation. So sa valuation and allocation, anong meron sa valuation and allocation? Bakit natin tinetest yung assertion for valuation and allocation? To check
If
the
the
accuracy
balance
of
is
valuation or balance ng cash, di ba? To check the accuracy of valuation or balance ng cash. So how do we perform audit for valuation and allocation assertion? You confirm with banks.
bank for
Confirm with banks if cash is correctly valued. Confirm with banks if cash is correctly valued. Baka kasi ang naka-record sa atin, 1 million. Pero nung kinonfirm with banks, ay hindi na yun 1 million, no? Ano na lang to? 500,000. So, we need to confirm it with banks. Ikalawa, you verify mathematical accuracy. Diba? So, how do we verify mathematical accuracy? So, from cash receipts, check natin siya to accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, deposit slips, and pa, general ledger, nakukuha po ba? Bakit
Yes, sir.
natin chine-check yung mathematical accuracy? To check kung merong lapping na tinatawag. Diba? To check kung merong kiting activities. So, ano yung lapping? Ano naman yung kiting?
Lapping, sir, yung misappropriation ng collection. Ano yun, sir? Pag nakakollect, sir, yung pag nakakollect, ina-apply sa next, ano, sir? Next collect.
Yes, tama po yan. Lapping is misappropriation
Of collection.
of funds, diba? Or collection. So, lapping is also a kind of kiting. So, ngayon lang natin, ngayon lang po pala natin nalaman na ang lapping ay isang uri ng kiting activity. So, bakit siya naging kiting activity? Ano daw ba yung kiting activity? Kiting activities are activities that conceal cash shortages. So, ano yun? Kiting are activities that conceal cash shortages. So, ano daw yung mga example ng kiting? Kiting through lapping. Ano pa? Kiting through ano pa po? Ano pa yung alam natin? Di ba alam na natin kiting? Kiting kasi is, di ba alam natin yung kiting? Ano ba yung kite? Ano yung kite? Sorry. Tagalog ng kite.
Taranggola, sir.
Saranggola. Diba? So, kapag nagsasaranggola tayo, anong ginagawa natin? Pag nagsasaranggola tayo, anong ginagawa ng class?
Tinataas.
Hinihila natin yung saranggola, di ba? Para umayos.
Yes, sir. Depende.
Tinataas, hinihila para umayos, di ba? So, ganun yung kiting na sinasabi dito. Inaayos natin, hinihila natin para mapunta siya sa mas mataas na lugar or mas magandang lugar. So, ganun yung ginagawa natin sa kiting. So, kiting and then lapping. Kiting through lapping, di ba? Pag naglalap ka, yung from this amount, pumihila ka ng portion na yon, nililipat mo sa isa para malap yung isang account. Para kunwari, na-deposit na yung payment, di ba? Halimbawa, nagbayad na ng isa kay customer. Nagbayad si customer, ang ginawa mo, kinuha mo na ni sabihin natin, ni cashier, yung pera. Kinuha niya yung na-kolekta na pera kay client. Ngayon, ang ginawa niya para maitago, makonceal yung shortages doon, nagbayad naman yung isang client, doon niya itinapal yung ibinayad ng isang client. Para kunwari, nabayaran na talaga.
Yes, sir.
So, wala nang question. So, yun yung lapping. And then, ikalawa, kiting through window dressing. Ano naman yung kiting through window dressing? Ano yung window dressing?
Misstatement, sir, ng asset sa liabilities, lahat, sir, equity.
In-state siya.
From the word window dressing. From the word window dressing, ano yung window dressing? Pag nag-aayos tayo ng ng bintana natin,
Napaganda sir.
magpapalit tayo ng cortina. Pag nagpapalit tayo ng cortina, gusto natin maganda, di ba?
Yes sir, parang pinapaganda yung accounts.
Hello, nakikinig pa po ba?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Pinapaganda natin, di ba? Anong ginagawa natin sa cortina? Tinatali? O, di ba? Minsan tinatali. So,
Yes.
ganun yung window dressing sa financial statements. Meron tayong hinihila from another period, nilalagay natin from this period para gumanda yung period na gusto natin gumanda. So, that is window dressing. So, minsan, yung window dressing ay nangyayari sa cash. Minsan, para ma-conceal yung cash shortages that happened this year, kukuha sila ng cash transaction the following year. Ilalagay nila this year para ma-conceal yung shortages. So that is window dressing. And then, we also have kiting through
Kite.
fund transfers. So, ano naman yung kiting through fund transfers?
Hindi yata nire-record yung
Sa fund
disbursement.
transfer naman sila gumagawa ng kiting activities. So, from one account, pwede. Pwedeng hindi nire-record yung disbursement, tapos kukuha naman sa other disbursement. Pwede naman sa cash receipts, i-record, kinuha yung cash receipts, nilagay, kinuha na lang, sinarili yung cash receipts, and then kapag may nakuha ulit na cash receipts, ita-transfer sa another bank account. So, ganun yung kiting through fund transfers. And then last, for valuation and allocation, we perform cut-off testing. So, these are the audit processes na ginagawa natin para lang masatisfy yung FS assertions na presentation and disclosure, existence or occurrence, rights and obligations, completeness, and then valuation and allocation assertion. Okay, so class, can you still hear me?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So, confirmation. Focus naman tayo dito sa confirmation. Sa confirmation, ano yung mga natetest natin? Ano yung natetest natin kapag nagko-confirm tayo? Anong assertion yung natetest natin?
Existence
Kapag
sir.
nagko-confirm tayo, we test the existence or occurrence.
Yes sir.
Ano pa yung natetest natin?
Valuation sir.
We test the rights
And obligation.
and obligation. Ano pa?
Presentation
We test the
and disclosure.
allocation and allocation. I mean, presentation and disclosure, hindi. Check niyo yung presentation and disclosure. Di ba? Tinignan natin. Sa presentation and disclosure, may nakita ba tayo na confirmation? Wala. So, hindi natetest ng confirmation ang presentation and disclosure. So, ano-ano lang yung natetest? Ang confirmation, existence or occurrence, rights and obligation, valuation, allocation. How about cut-off testing? Cut-off testing. Ano yung
Sir, hindi
natetest
po
ng
ba
cut-off
kasama
testing?
yung presentation dun, saka disclosure sa bank confirmation? Kasi sir, di ba pagka kung yung FS ba is in accordance with PFRS, yung bank policies.
Kapag nag-test tayo,
Yung mga
kapag
loans sir,
kine-check natin,
loans.
yes, yung loan. Sa ano po yun? Valuation and allocation, saka sa rights and obligation. Pero yung sa presentation and disclosure, hindi siya. Although merong sinabi si accounting standards about compensating balances. Kung paano lang siya i-report. Ako ba? Pero hindi sinabi na i-disclose mo si compensating balances. Ang sinabi lang kasi ni PAS saka ni TFRS, kapag may compensating balances, kung legally restricted, i-report mo siya hindi part ng cash. Kung hindi siya legally restricted, i-report mo siya as cash. Pero hindi niya sinabi na kailangan properly evaluated yung compensating balances. So, kaya doon siya pumapasok sa valuation and allocation, saka sa rights and obligation assertion. Meron pa po ba?
Kala ko
So,
po,
let's
sir.
go now with the cut-off. Ano po?
Hindi, wala po, sir. Kasi yung pagkakaroon po kasi kailangan yung notes in accordance with PFRS.
Yes, in accordance with PFRS. Pero, kapag sinabi mong in accordance with PFRS, nagfo-fall yon sa presentation and disclosure. Pero dun sa bank confirmation kasi wala naman nakasulat dun na i-value mo siya based with the PFRS or the Financial Reporting Framework. Kaya hindi kasama dito yung presentation and disclosure. Cut-off testing. Ano yung mga assertion?
Existence, sir.
Existence and occurrence. Ano pa?
Completeness.
Completeness. Yes, that's correct. Completeness. Ano pa po?
Accuracy.
Rights and obligations, sir.
Yan na po. Sorry.
Rights and obligation.
Rights and obligation. Check nga po natin yung rights and obligation kung merong
Rights lang po yata, sir.
cut-off testing.
Accuracy po.
Cut-off testing. Valuation and allocation.
Pwedeng rights lang, sir.
Sorry. Valuation, allocation. So, ito yung mga test, no? Rights and obligation. Sige,
Yeah, rights
naniniwala ako if you can give me transaction. I'm so sorry. Ulit po, ulit.
Yung rights lang, sir.
Yung
Rights lang.
rights. Sige po, bakit? Bakit kaya rights lang?
Sir, kasi
Gusto ko
di
po
ba
malaman kung bakit.
yung sa rights, meaning yung kasi sir, di ba pag nagka-cut off, kasama po sa cut off yung bank statements about sa cash receipts tsaka disbursement. Wala, sir, yun. Parang ina-assume ko lang, sir, na meron siyang right or legal right din sa cash. Tama po ba, sir?
Kapag
Yes, sir.
nagpe-perform kasi tayo ng bank reconciliation, ang
Yes, sir.
tinetest natin
Lang po
doon, yung completeness ng
Cut off
transaction.
lang po, sir, nung date nung receipts and disbursement.
Kung may right tayo doon sa cash na yon.
Yes, sir.
Parang ganun po ba?
Yung date lang ng receipts tsaka disbursement based sa bank statement.
Well, actually may point ka doon. Kasi, totoo naman, may right naman siya talaga doon sa, ano na yun, kung deposit in transit siya, di ba? So, dapat i-report natin as part ng cash. Pero kasi yung main purpose kasi nung reconciliation, ng bank reconciliation, is, the purpose of it is for the completeness sa pag-record nung cash. Hindi siya masyado naka-focus sa right niya about doon sa cash na yun.
Okay, sir.
So, kaya ganun siya siguro. So, isipin na lang natin,
Sige, sir.
kapag bank reconciliation, more on completeness. Kasi tingnan mo dito, bank reconciliation, completeness. And then sa rights and obligations, sorry, wala masyado, hindi diniscuss yung bank reconciliation.
Okay, sir.
Alright, yun lang. And then, can I extend another 10 minutes na lang? Kasi actually 9 o'clock na. Pero pasensya na. Kukuha ako ng onting
Sige po, sir.
time ninyo. Onting-onti lang naman na time. Huwag na kayong magalit. Onting time lang. Okay, so dito na tayo sa accounting for cash tayo. Punta tayo sa accounting for cash. What are included as part ng cash? Ano daw yung mga included as part ng cash? Ano ba yung definition ng cash? Yun yung una natin dapat alaman. What is cash? Cash includes money and other negotiable instruments that is payable in money and acceptable by the bank for deposit and immediate credit. Nakikita niyo po ba sa sa screen in definition of cash? It includes cash on hand, demand deposits, and other items that are unrestricted for use in the current operation. So based on the definition of cash, ang sabi daw, cash must be unrestricted. So unrestricted daw dapat yung cash. And then, to be used in operation.
Current operation.
Nakuha po ba? To be used in operation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, ano yung mga example ng cash? Ano yung mga example ng cash?
Cash on hand.
On hand, sir.
We have
Cash on hand.
So, we have cash on hand. Example ng cash on hand, customers' checks awaiting deposit. So, customers' checks awaiting deposits. So, ito yung mga deposit in transits. Undeposited cash collection. So, ito yung mga nakolekta na cash pero i-deposit pa sa bank the following day. So, syempre kapag nag-cash count or nag-conduct ng audit of cash auditor, minsan may matatagpuan talaga si auditor na mga undeposited cash collection. Kasi sabihin natin, December 31 na, nakolekta siya ng December 29, di ba? December 30, Rizal Day. So, holiday yon. And then, December 31, New Year's Eve, holiday ulit yon. So, walang bank transaction nun. And then, January 1, holiday ulit kasi New Year. So, kailan may de-deposit yon? January 2. So, meron talagang undeposited collections at year-end. And then, we have traveler's check. Bakit kaya cash on hand and traveler's check? Do you have any idea why cash on hand and traveler's check?
Short term kasi yung set ko. Tapos, rin siya, sure. Tawag doon. Basta rin yung ginagamit ng mga nagta-travel.
Nang nagta-travel. So, kaya siya cash on hand, yung traveler's check. Kasi kapag ang nag-i-issue ng traveler's check, hindi yung company. Ang nag-i-issue niyan yung bangko. Ngayon, yung bangko, kapag nag-issue siya ng traveler's check, ibabawas yan sa bank account ng company. And then, magiging traveler's check siya. So, technically, wala na siya sa account ng bank. Sa account ng company. Lumabas na siya in the form of traveler's check. So, substance over form, it is a cash on hand kasi nasa kamay siya nung employee o kaya nung cashier natin, nung company. So that's technically a cash on hand. Kaya siya traveler's check. How about cashier's check, official check, treasurer's check, and manager's check? Bakit sila cash on hand?
Guaranteed by the bank
Same rent with,
ng traveler.
same din with the traveler's check. Kasi ang nag-i-issue niyan, si bank na. So guaranteed yan ng bank na funded yan. Saan kinuha yung fund? Kinuha yan doon sa account ng company. So lumabas na yan sa pera, sa bank account ng company, naging na siyang manager's check o kaya cashier's check. And then syempre yung cashier's check na yan, hindi naman yan hahawakan ni bank. Hawak na yan ni employee o kaya nung officer nung company. So that is technically cash on hand. Postal money orders. Ano naman yung postal money orders?
Pag magsasend ng sir, pera through mail sa post office,
Dati kasi,
parang luma na yun, sir.
yes, tama po yun. Kaya noon kasi, wala pa naman GCash, wala pa naman Paymaya, wala ring online bank transfer noon. Unlike ngayon, di ba? Pa-transfer na lang tayo sa BPI, sa BDO. Noon, walang ganon. So, magpapadala ka lang ng pera through post office. Magpapadala ka sa kanila. So, ang tawag doon, postal money orders. So, these are cash on hand. And then bank drafts. Ano naman yung bank drafts?
Ayan, sir. Galing din sa bangko yan, sir. Parang cashier's check.
So bank drafts, these are actually checks or instruments, negotiable instruments drafted by the banks. Kaya bank draft ang tawag doon. And then cash in bank, we have current accounts, we have checking accounts, demand deposits, commercial deposits, saving deposits, and saving accounts. So pag current account, ano yung current account? Current account and checking account, normally, similar lang sila. Same lang sila. So, current account, wala siyang, it could have a check. Pwede siyang merong cheque, meron siyang passbook. Yung checking account naman, may cheque, nag-i-issue ng cheque. And then, current saka checking account, these are earning interest. Nag-earn sila ng interest. While demand deposits, these are deposits withdrawable on demand, pero hindi sila nag-earn ng interest. Commercial deposits naman, same lang rin, parang bank account lang din. And then savings deposit, savings account, yung purpose nito is to earn interest, kaya interest earning ito. Pero wala siyang cheque. So, lang yun yung cash and bank. So, technically, ito lahat puro cash and bank. And then we have short-term funds for current operations. We have change fund, payroll fund, purchasing fund. So, change fund, minsan yung sa sari-sari store, di ba? Sa sari-sari store, meron doon kayo nakikita na arinola, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Yung, o kaya kaserola, nandun sa sari-sari store. Tapos nandoon yung laman ng pera. O di ba? Kung meron kayong tindahan, may ganun kayo. Change fund pala yung tawag doon. At least ngayon, alam natin, that's a change fund. And then we also have payroll fund. Minsan, yung ibang company, wala silang ATM, hindi sila nagbibigay ng ATM sa mga empleyado. So, nagbibigay agad sila ng pera agad sa employees nila. So, meron silang payroll fund. Yun lang yun. And then purchasing fund, like petty cash funds. So, yun yun. And then pa, revolving fund, interest fund, petty cash fund, dividend fund, travel fund, tax fund. Then we also have unrestricted foreign currencies. So, yung unrestricted foreign currencies, these are cash on hand or deposited in banks. Convert, kapag present mo siya sa financial statements, kailangan naka-convert siya into peso equivalent. Nagigets po ba?
Yes, sir.
Can you still hear me, class? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, paano natin siya i-convert? Using the spot rate or closing rate. So, last na lang, treasury warrant. So, treasury warrant, a warrant for payment of money into or from public treasury. So, treated as cash ito. If the problem is silent, sinabi lang treasury warrants, that is considered as cash. Kuha po ba? So, pakibasa na lang muna yung other parts ng audit of cash. Okay, class. So, any questions before we dismiss our class today?
None,
Any
sir.
questions? None?
Ako yata, sir.
None so far. Okay.
Nun
So,
po,
please try. Okay, class. So, please try to answer all the exercises
Yes, sir.
and problems sa audit of cash. So, try ulit natin sagutan the following meeting, next meeting.
Okay, sir.
So, wala question so far. All right. So, happy weekend and thank you so much.
Thank you din, sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Class
sir.
dismissed.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir. Bye po.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.